Hey guys, welcome back to our P discussion number three. Our theme for this time is speculative media. So let's all go around in a circle saying our name and what our digital artifact is first. So I'll start. My name's Ari. I'm doing a DA on the 2021 Formula One season. I'm making a blog, and yeah, mine. Hunter.
Nice. My name's Hunter Johns. I'm doing a DA about VR, like virtual reality, and how it's going to evolve, and I'm going to do that in a video format.
My name's Hugo, and my DA is a blog about connections at music festivals and events, um, and how we can connect further with those type of things.
Rory.
I'm Rory Duggan, and I'm doing a Clash Royale AI deck maker that makes hypothetical decks and strategies for the game so you can get better. This is recorded through an Instagram and a blog.
I'm Joel, and I'm doing an artifact where I speak about the future of VR technology and its real world applications. I'm going to be doing it in a blog form, and I'm going to be talking about things like job training and stuff in VR.
Yeah. Now,
Nice.
Joel has prepared for us a series of questions on speculative media. So, Joel, would you like to go around the room asking each of us what you
Okay,
prepared?
yeah. Well, I mean, first we got to set a baseline of what speculative media is. So, like,
Right.
why don't we talk about that? What's speculative media to us?
So, to me, speculative media is the what ifs of life.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's say if a scenario happened in real life, in a speculative world, how would it be different? How would it be altered?
It's like hypotheticals.
It's all hypothetical, yeah.
100%.
I think one of the big things as well with speculative media is, as humans, we're always speculating in our heads, especially in like the DA process. It's like, what if I put this in my DA, or what if I make this next? Like, we speculation is something that happens so often. So I think it actually applies to our digital artifacts a lot more than people initially think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's,
Everything
yeah.
in life is speculative in a way.
I
Like
could,
every decision you make is a speculation of what if I go, what am I going to do next? What if I change what I did in the past?
in the DA context, I can certainly relate to that. I'm always thinking, let's say you submit your DA and you're happy you're happy with what you did, and then you get the results back and you're like, oh, but what if I did this? Or what if
Mm,
I did that?
you always think.
So it's always, yeah.
Um, yeah, another question is, do you think these stories say more about our present than the future? So, like, when we're talking about like how things could be like changed in the future, do you think about like things how they are now?
I think about that a lot. I always think about what if scenarios and how the future can be changed by our current decisions and how
Hmm.
our past decisions that used to be current could have it ended up differently.
But I feel like speculative media is more talking about the future than anything.
It
No,
could be
but it
anything.
also can refer to the past. Like for example,
Yeah,
with I'd say with Ari's blog being the F1, it's
yeah.
like,
Right.
what
Yeah.
if this blog didn't win this
You're
race?
yeah.
How would it shape the rest
Like
of the
what if?
season?
That's, yeah. So for the 2021 season, because it was such a tight fought battle between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, right?
Yeah, of
Let's
course.
say let's say if Max didn't win, I don't know, the French Grand Prix or whatever, that would have completely blown the championship out of the water and put it towards Lewis Hamilton's favor. So yeah, it's very,
You never know.
you never know
The
what's,
whole world could be
That's
different.
that's one of the things I like about speculative media is
it's very
you'll never
broad.
get an answer
Yeah.
of any speculation really,
Yeah, that
unless you like, what if, like, you never know. It's something you did, you never know if you didn't do it, what would happen or anything like that.
that sort of leads into the next question where it's like, do you think speculative media is more about trying to predict the future or more just like what if scenarios? Like
I think
hypotheticals?
it's kind of like it's a different perspective of, like, it's the way it's like, I feel like with speculative media in our scenarios is like we'll all have a different output of what we think speculative, which is what it makes it so special and unique.
Do you have anything to add on that, Roy?
I mean, speculations and predictions kind of go hand in hand. Like,
Do you think there's
it,
any difference between the two?
I guess in many ways they are like synonyms, but also speculations kind of hold like a what if rather speculate like or predictions focus on like
What you
a
think's gonna
hypothetical
happen.
conclusion.
Yeah, speculative media is more in a fictional realm, I think, than predictions are trying to be more. based on like data
So
and analysis.
prediction is more analytical.
Like,
Yeah,
Perspective is more just broad on
definitely.
your top of your
Where
head.
speculation is more creative, I would say, more
I also
you're
think
thinking about what
speculative
could happen.
media has like a bigger potential to have more intriguing and engaging like content
Yeah.
because so many people know, especially in some scenarios, know
Yeah.
what's happened or what will happen, but they don't actually know like, oh, what if that didn't happen or what if something changed, which I think is like it's a cool way to engage people with your media making.
I think and even if you're not really interested, let's say if you're making a blog, right, and the person's reading your blog and they're not interested in what you're writing about, but if you make it like speculative, I think, as you say, it makes it more intriguing to the viewer because it's an alternate reality of what actually happened, which could make it. Because, like, let's say, how could I relate it to? Like, I don't really care about like soccer, but if someone's making a blog about, I don't know, a football season, but it's speculative to the reality of what actually happened, it would intrigue me more. So I think speculative is intriguing for people who don't have an interest in what you're writing about.
Mm.
That's
It could also be intriguing for people who do have interest, like for
yeah,
the soccer example.
Yeah.
Someone who's a big soccer fan knows what
yeah,
happened at every World Cup. They could see a blog about just what happened and they already
yeah.
know. But one that's speculative can be like, oh, what if this country won over this country? Then it
Yeah.
becomes more intriguing for them as well.
Speculative, I think it's a good tool to increase the popularity of what you're doing because it opens it up to a wide array of people,
Yeah,
as opposed to just doing predictions, more just analytical, just based on real life facts.
yeah, definitely.
That's yeah.
Um, and so should we talk about how we've used it in our artifacts as well?
Yeah.
I feel like Hunter and I can like add a little bit as well. Like if you want to keep.
So so my DA about the Formula One, I used it in two ways. So the first way I used it is I gathered all the data from each qualifying session. So I went back and watched all the qualifying highlights and just put the results in a Microsoft Excel table,
Spreadsheet.
spreadsheet. And then I removed Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton from the data because they were the two main key players for the championship. And what this allowed me to do is it created a new speculative world in which the two title protagonists didn't participate in qualifying, and that altered the result of the race because their positions for the Grand Prix were all out of order. What happened in real life? So that made the real life result much different to the actual what happened in real
In
life.
terms of the result, like
Yeah.
what did it mean for the other people who weren't 1 and 2? Like did that make the rest of the season
Yes,
entertaining?
it pushed a lot of the people that came like third and fourth to come first because Max and Lewis now are starting last.
Yeah.
So the people that came like third, fourth, they were the ones that fought for the championship in the
Yeah,
new
with
speculative
the
world.
like the middle of the table and stuff as
Yeah.
well, did it make that a lot closer because people are
Yeah,
getting better results and stuff?
it made the midfield really tight because usually it's not a very wide spread, but with this new world, yeah, it made it a lot more tight. And then I also did a reverse grid format. So I got all the data from the race results this time, and I flipped it around into a reverse grid to see what would happen if they started last. And they made their way through the field pretty well, but they still didn't come first. They didn't fight for the championship. So that's why I'm using my speculative framework in my DA to see how it would affect the championship result.
I feel like Hunter and I like both of our artifacts are so similar where we're talking about the future of like VR technology,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like how are you talking about it? I'm talking about it in sort of like its real world applications.
Workplace training and
Yeah,
stuff.
stuff like that. Like
Yeah, because I think that's very like the whole appeal of workplace training is you're not giving a real scenario. You're basically simulating what if scenarios for customers and stuff, which I think is perfect for the type of media you create because it also prepares you for a multitude of things that might actually not happen.
yeah.
Didn't you talk about that in class?
Yeah, we
For
did talk
the
about it in class.
So your mate or your brother or
Yeah,
something,
one of my friends, he
your
was
friend, yeah,
doing
okay.
Woolies training and they brought
Woolworths.
out a VR headset and that got me sort of thinking about the future of VR.
How just curious, how did they do the training for Woolworths on the VR?
What do you mean?
Stacking shelves and that.
Like,
So it's like customer scenarios. You've done this as well,
Yeah,
haven't you?
I work at Woolworths. I've done the training.
yeah.
It's kind of you just been put in the world and you're just in the shop. The customers are talking to you and you gotta like select dialogue options to what would be the best suited. If you choose the wrong one, you actually feel the consequences of the cost. If you're like accidentally rude to the customer,
Yeah.
you can actually simulate the consequences where the customer gets sad or
That's the other
angry or
thing as
something.
well. Like, it is speculative in terms of even the wrong answers because you're seeing like, what if I do something wrong? You're seeing an insight into something you
Yeah,
if you said the right answer straight up.
yeah.
like
With
previously.
normal training, you could never simulate that type of thing. Where VR
So
is the only way.
would you, for instance, deliberately simulate a wrong answer,
Well,
or do
the
you just have to get it right to pass the?
you have to get it right to pass.
Yeah.
But it's just like in case someone isn't socially aware
Yeah.
and doesn't know what to say, and then does say the wrong answer, the option's there to tell them that it is the wrong answer, so people know instead of them going out into the world doing their job and saying it to real customers and that
Right.
type of stuff where there's real consequences.
Yeah. So like when I'm talking about the real world applications, like, are you speaking more like in speculation to the actual technology of
Yeah,
virtual reality?
I'm more talking about how the technology will evolve and the new like features and specs and just every
Like in the new Quest 3, instead of those Fresnel lenses, they have new pancake lenses.
yeah.
It like gives you a bigger field of vision and like more clear colors and better pixel density and stuff.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna look at that, how it's evolved from the first VR headsets that came out like 10 years ago now,
Hmm.
how it's evolved in the last decade, and how it will evolve in the next decade. Well, research new technologies that have emerged in
So
lenses and that.
is your DA more speculative or like prediction based? Are
I'd
you
say
predicting what's happening, or are you
I'd say
speculating what's
it's
happening?
a little bit of both. Where for the next like the Quest 4, let's say, that'd be more prediction based. Where
What do you mean by Quest 4? What is it?
like
So
the
you
next
know
Quest that's
like
coming out.
the Meta Quest headsets.
Oh yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
three. The three is the newest one.
Yeah,
Right.
And when you're talking about the four, like there's a lot of different things that could happen. Like obviously the lenses can get better.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about like, so do you know the difference between standalone and PC VR?
No.
So PC VR is like when your headset's plugged into a PC.
Yeah.
I wanna like, are you discussing Hunter? Are you discussing the future of standalone VR as well? Because I feel like that can only get better.
yeah, yeah. There's definitely more room to improve with standalone VR, but
I feel like that's where real world applications come in as well.
definitely.
That's sort of where I sort of like mix a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of the where interlapse.
What do you what do you speculate about the future of VR? Do you think it will?
So like I mean things with like the metaverse and stuff, how Mark Zuckerberg says it's gonna be like the future of like specifically like office work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I personally don't think that that is viable because
Why is that?
with things like VR, there's like things like motion sickness and fatigue.
Yeah.
And Meta is actually they've done studies. There's a frame of time called it's like the Goldilocks period where it's
Right.
like 30 or 40 minutes is the perfect amount of time to be in VR because it's like before you get motion sickness, before you start to feel sick or anything, but you've had enough playtime or like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I personally don't think it's viable in real world applications
Yeah.
for like long shifts or like something like that.
I think there is a use real world applications that's similar to VR where it's like AR technology, like
Yeah,
the
totally.
Google glasses or something,
Yeah.
where it can have pop-ups that show up and you can do work without a screen, just with glasses. And I think that's definitely a future that
Hmm.
will affect the real world more than just normal VR.
Yeah, and that like sort of brings us to the next question. Did you have anything to add?
No.
Okay. So, uh, do you think speculative media encourages progress, or do you think it makes people afraid of it?
I think it depends on like the type of person. Like I know a lot of people, with the way their personality stuff are is they speculate about scenarios in their head or how they're going to do sort of like works and stuff, and it kind of makes them overwhelmed, and it doesn't let they don't go down the route they think they should because they're like, oh, but what if it goes bad or something? But then I also think speculation's a good way to look at it from different aspects and go, right, what if I do it this way? And I think personally for me, I think speculating about things in the media I create is actually more beneficial because it gives me sort of more angles.
Yeah, so long as you go from like an optimistic perspective,
Yeah.
that pessimistic, then yeah, it can certainly help.
I think it's good to look at. I think it allows issues and topics to be looked at from a more broad angle, more wide angle. Because if you speculate something, you're not taking it as surface value. So it allows you to unpack, is this true or not? Is this being, pushed by a certain agenda, whatever. So I think speculative, as Hugo says, I think different people take it differently, but overall, I believe it will benefit people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do we think speculative media makes us better, like critical thinkers about like problems that we have today?
I think
Yeah,
so, because like a lot of the time, if you speculate too hard, you can get a bit distracted on the actual goal. But I think a lot of times, well, when I'm making media, especially in this class, I think of, well, what if I do this? Is it going to get the desire that I want it to, like the outcome I want it to get? So I think a lot of the times I've speculated in a positive way where I've gone, actually, no, I don't like this route. And it makes you narrow down exactly what you want to put down.
I think that's important. You have to, if you're going to speculate, you have to look at it positively.
Yeah.
Because if you speculate in like a negative way, it just makes you go down a downward spiral.
Yeah.
It like, if you keep on speculative on stuff, it's not good for your, yeah.
There could be some use to negative speculation where like you can
Yeah.
be ready for situations.
Negative speculation is good, but I think to a certain degree.
Yeah, definitely.
To a certain degree.
There's definitely nuance to the situation.
Do you have anything to add, Rory?
not really.
All right, let's get on to the next question then.
Right, yeah.
Do we think speculative media opens people up to more diverse perspectives?
Yes.
I think that definitely.
And like in what ways? Like,
I think people, like, whenever people have an idea, they usually go with the first thing that comes up. But I think if you speculate, it makes you more open to different outcomes or different perspectives on things that you wouldn't initially have thought of, which I
Yeah.
guess makes the most out of your media because you're considering so many different aspects instead of just the one that you want to focus on.
Yeah, to be successful in media production, you have to have some sort of speculative
I
framework
think
in
out of
there.
the 3 frames we've done this whole semester, I think speculative is the one that will applies probably most on the day-to-day real world, even not even when you're making media, just in the way we think and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I guess is why we all chose to do it as a last.
It's very, as you say, very relevant to real life
It's very
behavior.
applicable.
It's also
What a
it's
real
quite
life, yeah.
interesting. Like I was on the Discord the other day and I was looking at like the different frame chats. Speculative, like up until this
Yeah.
yeah,
week
no
when I
one's
messaged
looked
you,
at
there
it.
wasn't a single.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
it's
When
quite
you were
interesting.
the first message.
Yes.
It's been very underrated by the class. I think this last year is where people are realizing how
Yeah.
useful it is.
Because people do
interesting it
typical
is.
like viral,
Yeah,
AI,
like
like
because they seem like the easier ones.
yeah, but speculative, it just has that different,
It's
more.
got a little bit of chutzpah.
It does, bro. It's got charm.
Yeah.
It's got charm. Yeah, yeah.
And like I don't know how to word this question properly. Like I
Yeah.
don't know how to articulate it, but how do we think like speculative media, especially in the world of politics?
Yeah.
How do we think it can like change the future? Because Hunter and I the other day were speaking to one of the socialists like in front of the library,
Oh yeah.
and it got me thinking about speculative media. It was very speculative, like with like socialism and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like there's a lot of political application in this. Like maybe that's something we should
Yeah.
discuss. I don't know.
I mean, speculation kind of also involves putting yourself in another person's shoes,
Yeah.
and in order to make a world where everybody's included, everybody's involved, and everybody's like, I guess, accounted for, definitely involves politicians and people alike to put themselves in the shoes of others and have some empathy.
Mhm.
And I guess, I mean, at the end of the day, those are like speculations. You will never necessarily 100% know what is going on inside another person's head. But like speculating another person's point of view can certainly help diversify perspective.
So to wrap it all up, because we're 30
Reaching
30
time.
seconds to go.
Yeah.
What do we think? Speculative media, but also just speculation in general. How do you reckon that's gone for all of us guys throughout the whole course of this class semester?
I think like the message that's been like taught to us in this class about like iterating, like just keep on iterating. I feel like
That's a key.
that's
That's a
so
cornerstone of the subject.
yeah, it's so intertwined with speculation and speculative media.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what makes this topic so interesting and so engaging. It's like that's what we've been learning about this whole time, and it's sort of just like I don't know, like iteration is just an amalgamation of all of the like topics. But I feel like thank you. I feel like speculative media is definitely the most I don't know what like word to use. It's the most applicable to
It
this
definitely is. Yeah.
like subject, I feel.
Yeah. I agree with
Yeah.
Joel says on that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So that's
Alright.
Thanks for listening.
Like and subscribe. Follow for a cookie.